Country people achowe salute. As una sabi the one undaunted pidgin news place where tori no dey hide. Na that's also shake no dey. Na me tori pikin su and I don come again. May we mash fire. For tori today, my country people, we go enter for inside country Sunday palava. We go see how it still happen for that side for Noah local government area with we boys them in the bushes. So for colonial SDO enter inside Mabanda for can hala with country people them for day. We talk BB congratulate for we Momo County come be them and all man we come out last Saturday for can support draft. We go enter for Moja and Ambere the palava. We bring governor the fear Ambazonian restoration first there. Me we gather with skin, we shinon because by the time I come back, I go knock the tori in the proper kind of way. I come back. Country people, we lockdown no change o. Interim government say na for number 15 day where we lockdown e go finish. Country people na hear am. And as for the one where una sabi and when na today Monday, we know say na we country Sunday and na we country fashion say make people dem shino for us. Make them rest their body. So one them if they like am, make they gather, they go knock down Amba. Me we shino for ground, we talk with family people there. Even gather our skin, do different sport for make skin me dey fine. Masa Kimbi achowe salute. Abeg, book we the tori palava goes down, small me we hear am.
But my people them. Now 6 years now, we Ambazonian don't try for the stop the babatin away France did do for we territory where they use Republic did do. When the struggle be start, France and Republic, they be think say they just make na noise and it go cause more time. But now says they don't say I'm say serious with this matter. Since we Master President Samuel Komisaku take power, like big man for Ambazania, they come now, Republic don't try all way to fully give him money, say me forget this we struggle. But in Waka, that means say Republic they don't put plenty money or try to destroy Ambazonia for all kind way, but they still fail. Republic don't try. All kind we mono hold we country Sunday. We be start on the number 2D for this month, but we still hold fine. We don't spoil all their plan them. We don't toss gang, say they no go succeed. You know waka. Where some people they work outside, they talk say we add 1 week again on top this lockdown.
The interim government reinforce and also support a complete lockdown. I want to see me this message go far and wide because the interim government it don't be able to demonstrate and in many occasions for proof say La Republic of Cameroon it kill with picking them, it use with picking them the target practice for this time of the year. For 10 round talk say like we be the terrorists, we do try for prevent school reopening. Dear Ambazonians, dear ARF, the interim government we don't make them very clear. Say the safety for picking them it day in the hands of the parent.
We know yet different thing. Say if we hear any man for aside, it talks a lockdown the end not for number 19D. Just no say that the public pay this man who can't talk this kind of lie. I know hear thing where they talk. Na me wakaman Kimbi and I the talk so na for home front for Undaunted Pidgin News.
Thank you plenty, Master Kimbi. Put your ear again for ground fine fine so dat I go dey knack you better tori. Make we match fire my country pipu for another tori. Again inside tori for Nwa local government area, Akimbi get some tori for dat side for we. Master Akimbi broke am make we hear.
Fellow ARF, fellow citizens of Ambazonia, today now Monday, the 11th day of September 2023. And I come up with this very quick and urgent communication from the Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council, ANSC, where it is subordinated to the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And this communication is concern the ongoing 2 weeks national lockdown. The national lockdown is the end on Friday, September 15th. Friday, September 15th, and not on the 12th of September, not on Tuesday, 12th September, as stated on some flyers. Again, the national lockdown, the lockdown of our national territory, is the end on Friday, September 15th, and not on the 12th of September, as stated on some flyers. That means the lockdown, it will continue right to Friday, 15th September 2023. Saturday and Sunday, they be exempted as usual, and then we go observe our usual Monday ghost town or country Sunday. This one, it means say from Monday today the 11th to Friday 15th September we go remain indoors. No circulation of motorbikes, motorcycles, tricycles, vehicles, save for ambulances in case of genuine medical emergency. No opening of markets, shops, stores, bars, houses, shower houses, green care houses, drinking palaces, all business premises, they go still be on hold. And this one, it means say we are schools or we are community schools, they go only go operational as from Tuesday 19, 2023. Again, we are schools, we are community schools, they go operational only as from Tuesday, 19th day of September 2023. Remember, say we know they follow the same school calendar with La Republic du Cameroon. And remember, they say this 2 weeks lockdown, it take into consideration the safety and security of our school kids, our students, teachers, and everybody, and the strategic interest of our revolution. The Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council, it don't uncover another diabolical plan by the Republic of Cameroon terrorists, military, and rogue regime for commit another massacre of school children this week between Tuesday and Friday, and that it on the Ambazonian Restoration Forces, as was the case in Garbu, Kumba, Ekondo, Titi, Muyuka, Pinyin, Fikov, Kimbo, etc. And the Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council and the Ambazonian people, they get to stay indoors for avoid this macabre replay of history. The Republic of Cameroon, it intend for use this monstrous act as propaganda when you be addressing the United Nations General Assembly on the 21st of September or any time soon. It also wants or intend for use school resumption for their propaganda, say things have already gone back to normal in the so-called northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. We get for sabotage all this move as we don't sabotage the candidacy of young Mona Philemon as 79th president of the United Nations General Assembly. When I remember say Mimimi Fonin through an article written by a certain Fonbera, it be revealed on July 7th, 2023, say La Republic it worked so hard for Philemon Mona Young, for their former prime minister, who become the 79th president of the United Nations General Assembly, and they don't already deposit documents before, they don't already start the campaign before all the diplomatic missions accredited to Yaoundé. And the intention for make Philemon Mona President of the United Nations General Assembly, now for sabotage and block the Ambazonian struggle internationally. But thanks to the great and commendable work carried out by the interim government, young Mona Philemon, he candidacy, he don't be disqualified in favor of that of Francis Dennis. Francis Dennis, he come out for that island, that country where they call him, say, Trinidad and Tobago. So Francis Dennis of Trinidad and Tobago, now the 79th President of the United Nations General Assembly. Again, we hail our interim government for successfully sabotaging the candidacy of Philemon Mona Young. We, the Ambazonian people, can never give the least chance to La Republic of Cameroon and their agents to succeed in their machinations and diabolical maneuvers. They will not be given reason to smile cynically at us. They will not be given the least chance to torpedo our struggle for freedom. We will prevail. Spokesperson, Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council. Spokesperson, Ambazonian Restoration Forces for the 13 counties that make up the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Victory is sure.
Again, country people, I thank una and I thank the interim government for this information where they don't give it. Yes, for Noah local government, we go see what way we boys them do and for day. Now go see the kind of fine work where they do and may see am. Now that na Ben Sikin that way they don't see them, see gun them. See Ekelebe, they are close them. I beg. Country people, una see and fine oh. Now that una look am. The boy then say, if you public know it's good for them, me they pack their thing, they disappear, come out. Now for Noah local government area, it happens so. Country people, we go leave that story so. We go enter for somebody they call it say Tunung Chambali. When I suffer Colonial Republic SDO for Momo County. Momo this man come out for outside for Friday when at the number 8 day for inside the September moon. For Kanala with my bad people them for inside Kumba local government area. This suffer man, when at the sea and so he come out, can the make noise, see say we boys is there, that the entire Mabanda can attack Dio, Colonel Dio over there, and then with people there, they don't talk nothing. They should not quite. As they see our boys there, they no report for any place. The attack set it happened now for Thursday, when at the number 7 day for inside September, around evening time, where the Republic Dio be the driving motor to go back inside your house. The Republic SD also, they don't talk for people that say, may all we come with them, look out with the ARF them. Them enter inside Mabanda and then they attack that deal. So why we people then leave them? Say why these people them they not full Republic Ekelebe. Him talk for them plenty talk. Him try for fufu with people. With that blood sucker mob, he talk plenty baba thing them. He say if we come be them from Abanda, see the boys them again, me they report one time. Say me they no fear. He talk again. Say anytime he come from Abanda, you know 1 year say we boys is there, they don't enter from Abanda. Then he says some strong talk for we boys is there. He travel to say me they look out. Say if they don't know it to be good for them, die the camp. Say in Republic Ekelebe them, they go hand them for grave. So they go kill all their small time. Country people, time where we boys them be attack Ngala Afet when at the colonial republic they deal from Abanda. Republic Ekelebe, the LP, they carry they run with it, go back for the Ekelebe camp. Now for day this man, he remain. All we get, now for he get where all the attack, it be happen. I say shoot away be there for the no be small one. Country people, we go leave that story again so. May we enter for another story. With the talk, big congratulations for Momo County there. And another big congratulations again for Ambazonian people where they be come out for Saturday, where we been on number 9 day for September for can join with President Master Samuel Ikomesako for show Momo boys is them, say we turn up strong with them. And me them continue the 5-5 work where they do for day. The money will be coming from Momo County draft be there like a 50,000 and 28 like a 50,228 for American money. And for Tori where they enter it show say this money it is still the enter. Country people we go leave that Tori we enter for another Tori. Country people Tori day. Nambere when a moja it can be don't come out some strong talk for we country people. This man here monja na friend them o me una see am. These people they na strong friend them. Na them that. And then he talk so.
If I when I learn I walk. Now my branch moja. Now look for about first.
Na Cameroon with the
One and indivisible Cameroon.
Sha, na
If I may any
Cameroon.
man will understand so.
Yes. Amba, mama for una.
Mama so for una. Because they never born una. I hear swallow the grumble talk say they fight war. Ma tell us something I need to fight when I learn I walk. Now my branch moja this. Not no cratchy.
Country people na don't see am. Now wait till it happen again. Moja. Now wait till book people that they call for big grammar say toothless bulldog. In the back, they no fit bite. He secret all don't come out for upside. Sika say in come be sesep, he own koro friend, nambere. Don't come out for outside, can open his show. You don't talk all thing, they do. And then it can show all this killing them. All these die people where the apple so where this man the claim say na Amba them. No be no Amba. Say na fufu with people. When I hear it in Ambere talk about this palaver.
The war. Una nothing gree me finish now. Any man want stop this war. We'll go. Yes, has on a good evening. Something and the way when I look I just dey laugh and laugh. I dey laugh because I don't always advise people say any man will not go protect you right inside your house where you sleep. When that man talks on talk, fear that talk because when they talk one fight you back, that man no come for can defend your life. Plenty of una need the year. Look how many life of how many people don't waste just a few days ago. People their property a lot. In fact, when that mean just be a man hang, be a man die. That mean I dey feeling. Now I want to ask some question. Now, what's that moja day with that group where they work at now? Not play serious now, you know, see moja. But after all the thing they don't go finish all, you go come on out with the own kind Amba, then we don't go catch that. I don't know. Side go catch your Amba, then I go carry and bring her. Now that Sakato in the find it for a corner. Neither do come on carry for munya. The ika for munya no let come na come in. Neither they shoot gun for up for make I mean no say they come na go. You know talk say they boy you hear that gun for munya. Now time that way you supposed to go prove yourself. Now call for that the wrong put for middle road for Moyoka. Now you get to go show the people they start deal with you. And I mean they call it moja. I want to do something now. Now you know do nothing. They don't kill innocent people. They don't encourage people to come out. I don't think I say the best thing for do government solve the problem once and for all. But so long as the problem don't they put military man will be the sin at 10,000, not to get 500,000 for one day. One cutting work on a don around the share 3 million, 4 million on una. The thing not go ever end because only una say son of a business people. Now that reason why una the fight for kill me become ever hide for not tell una the truth because una hate the truth. Since as the war don't give all my money, don't make a minimum salary 5 finger. The year sweet. That sweet way they come out for the war. Una nothing criminal finish now. Any man want stop this war. Who must be enemy of people whether they make money for the war. Take it from me. You don't go see moja now. Una no go see. Now where all thing go market go day, people go day that time come pass now say be moja. You don't come now for come fight for the people.
I know be normal Kelebe. So I go come. Sagaya mami bombo you say dey for back. You go to go over no. Well, na day, your mommy bombo.
Now, that on the 7th, when I got the shoot, that day, with all the whole boy at the year, Munya the shake, the whole boy at the shake, in the past of all social media, that day gave a command, so cross that fire, jump that fire, to bam, say, me, moja, rockam, Amba, where the day.
Come make a shake for them, we shoot them. You know, got them, the thing in your neighborhood, we know the man here, them. Because no make sure they want to feature stop for road. Yeah, I mean, this idea. Nasako, we didn't have Vongiso.
No go now go to Shidona for play the dreaming book. Go say when the day made they come, I want jam with them. Then that time on the 7th night be the day for the go jam. You know go jam. You know go jam. But now go the 4 people they made they go pick carry their market, they go also make they go kill them. So that make all the people they kill let's say war over day. They side money, more money give military. They add more military, add more security. They only give money, they only go. Una they only get money. You now you go now talk say, yeah, he locks don't bend. Yeah, he locks don't do this. They go side money give you when una hold and tight. But there will be a day, a judgment day. There will be that day that all of una so na they do all the things so una no go get me so do am again. That day they come. Now no worry. Na Changshu boy them on na be Changshu boy them na Karampong boy them. If you know say call as a Karampong. Karampong. Now when Changshu fail before they carry Karampong they use them. Reboot. You just tell a shingard. You understand? They don't be na Karampong stroke reboot boys. But no worry yourself. Where you go see man do the wear Karampong. No say time for wear shingard on the rich. And they tell una they talk any day. Una better solve this problem now than for now for leave and make the problem give birth for a lot of things that una know if you handle them in future. All this propaganda una the door up and down. Let's say una officials them. Now be very careful because they take a little play, but I just tell una. Well, but people, I love everybody. My crying as a mini struggle. Me and me peace come back so that me people rest. Life to overgo. I hate now the people when they lie. They the fool people. And anyhow, no problem.
Country people, una don hear am. Before Nambere wan talk so, e get wetin moja. You don dey talk, don comot for outside, you don talk plenty thing there. Country people, me una hear am.
Right. Today is the 9th day of September. Today na number 9 day for September. Aujourd'hui c'est le 9 septembre 2023. Amba, I don hear all that thing for Munya, all that thing for Limbe. Na me I tell una. Say now so I be ready for jam una understand no? Una no dey. Sagata will grind una inshallah basuyama Amba. Want tell all population. Say my number na 691-798185. 691-798185. Call me for 1 o'clock now. They can't jam Amba. The Amba na me I tell una. Na me moja talk. You understand no? Shake. Una take eye chop Christmas. Start for one Cameroon. Na my flag this. You know Amba. Now today na my flag this. Una see from today what I'll do una. Inshallah Amba basuyama tema.
Country people, una don hear am. Na thing this way e make Nambere talk that audio so. Na thing this way e make these two friends they scatter so. Sese for boya where we boss the car do shoot. I say they shoot so they come out. I don't see anything like more. Not to talk of say moja. You know show a face. Come out, can talk foolish. Okay, oh country people. My own not to end for here. Tori where you don't finish. I go leave am make we come be dem, they go come after me and they go broke the tori in the proper kind of way. Una stay fine.
Right. Today is the 9th day of September.
Now, let's look on the demographics, starting with Widukum local government area. Widukum local government area is one of 5 local government areas that constitute the Momo County. The 5 local government areas are Mogamo, Menemo, Nje, Widukum, Njikwa. Now on to Mogamo. Batibo is a name that refers to the chief town Mogamo local government area of Momo County in the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. It is located along the Trans-African Highway, 27 miles west of Bamenda and about 100 miles east of Nigeria. Batibo is the economic, social, political, and cultural heartbeat of the Mogamo-speaking people, as well as the greater Widukum tribe. Batibo, formerly referred to as Agui, is home to a people including farmers, traders, and craftsmen. Batibo is the capital of Mogamo local government area and is located 40 kilometers southwest of Bamenda in the Midland zone of southern Cameroon. Along the Bamenda-Mamfe Road, it is located between latitudes 575 and 590 north of the equator, longitudes 975 east of the Greenwich Meridian, and at the transition between the equatorial forest in the south and the savanna to the north. Mogamo has a good number of different villages comprising the following villages: Ambo, Anyem, Anong, Ashong, Batibo, Besi, Besom, Efa, Enwen, Enyo, Ewai, Guzang, Kugwe, Kulabe, Kuruku, Mbengok, Mbunje, Numben, Ngenge, Nijin, Mua, Oshun, Tiben. Now, under the cultures, Mogamo culture portrays itself in rhythmic music, traditional outfits, artworks, and folklore, and traditional rites. Batibo is sandwiched between the savanna and the tropical forest. The transitional climatic and vegetation zones have endowed the people with subsistence and cash crops, including yams, beans, corn, peanuts, cassava, potatoes, tomatoes, banana, and plantains. Also cultivated in Batibo are perennial trees that produce palm nuts, plums, cashew nuts, kola nuts, coffee, and cocoa. Fruits and vegetables grown include pineapple, passion fruit, guava, sugar cane, monkey cola, berries, okra, bitter leaf, leeks, oranges, avocado, watermelon, and papaya. Wine. Batibo and its catchment area of Mogamo, you can could say is the palm wine capital of the world. The sweet white wine is tapped from the raffia palm tree. The white wine, locally referred to as fikchuk, is a staple at all occasions, including birth celebrations, engagement, weddings, funerals, and others. The wine is exported to all the other parts of the two Cameroons, which areas are as far as Yaoundé and Douala. Fikchuk hardens with age and has actually been frozen and shipped to Europe and the USA, where it is used to grace birth and marriage celebrations. And now food. Nam chupi is a porridge made of cocoyams and vegetables. Huckleberry vegetable, njama locally called, and cocoyam is a frequent meal. Huckleberry vegetable, njama, and cocoyams is a frequent meal. The over 12 types of yams are cooked with meat, fish, chicken, vegetable, and spices. Other foods consumed by the Batibo people include rice, fufu, ndole, eru, achu, miyondo, koki, gari. Good evening and welcome to Undaunted, bring it into the news untold stories. I am Star Smart. Let's begin. Ambazonians have once again given today's ghost town the respect that it deserves, proving that indeed powers have changed hands. La Republic does not have the old privileges it enjoyed over Ambazonia. The interim government has put in place a speed brake on the path of the governing of Ambazonia by La Republic. The imposed ghost towns are paralyzing La Republic-run activities in Ambazonia, showing the resilience of southern Cameroon's Ambazonia to oust neighboring La Republic. Meanwhile, the Ambazonian restoration forces have been on the offensive of late, and from every indication, they are not willing to be blind in this new paradigm. At the start of the present war in Amazonia, the Ambazonian restoration forces were simply on the defensive, but this time they are taking the war to the colonial administrators Republic who are terrorizing Ambazonian civilians. Now let's dive into the full briefings of Undaunted tonight to find out more on what's happening in Ambazonia, Africa, and the world. Coming up, the prime headlines.
Right, here are the prime headlines for tonight. We would start by revisiting the ARF's takeover of Colonial La Republic de Cameroon Gendarmerie Brigade in one local government area. Colonial DO SDO demonstrates fear. And what did they do? They banned the circulation of vehicles and bikes at night. How would the people move? Oh well. Administrative powers over Ambazonia now lies in the hands of led by President Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako. United States Attorney General abducted in Bamenda. Administrative powers over Amazonia is seen all over, even as the ghost town and the national lockdown extends to the 15th of September. Ambazonia Restoration Forces gives Colonial Kumber DO sleepless nights. What has happened again? Of course, you'd want to see this. On the foreign scene, we would be asking and reviewing why BRICS currency to influence the U.S. economy, and also on the African scene, more updates from Gabon. So many things happening in that part of the world. Now let's get the news in detail.
Our vision in this interim government is to make ABC a leader and the real war horse of our struggle. We want to grow it, hire and train more hands and broadcast round the clock, around the world, and take command of the media space of this world.
You can enjoy all round the clock, 24/7 exclusive moments of bliss as an ABC Amba TV Club member. A cappella. Latest Nigerian / African movies, global politics, ABC Amba News and updates, historical documentaries, and lots more. In our daily programs, we have Undaunted, ABC Amba News, bringing into the news untold stories with Onyi Okpala and Star Smart. Exclusive discussion, revolutionary panel conversation, infotainment, edutainment, intro governmental debates on topical issues with Tar Paddy King, State of the Liberation Movement, Fronting IG and People of Ambazonia's position, the Struggles Weekly Update with Secretary Martin Mungwa, PhD, FASCE. Health is wealth, health education and awareness within the Ambazonian community with Dr. Yaya. Liberation prayer and intercessory ministry for Ambazonia with Pastor Victor Amba. Our freedom, spiritual awareness and education for the Ambazonian community with Pastor Victor Amba and Pastor Commando. Church and politics, neutralizing the myths and preconceived religious and political philosophies that limit the Christian involvement in the realms of decent politics with Pastor Commando. The Horizon, the voice of the Ambazonian woman with Dr. Patience Abiedo and Lady Casey. Our Amber history, bringing to limelight the hidden history of Ambazonia with Pastor Commando. Appointment on community building, education on patriotism within the Ambazonian communities with Ma Rachel Itatima. Ethics for an Emerging Nation, watchdog of basic principles and morals of a nation at war with Ma Dorothy Ngwa. Upcoming programs: Pigeon News, Vernacular Talk Show, County Roots, Activists Corner, Amba Focus, only on ABC Amba Television. We the people, the voice of the voiceless. For 24/7 access, subscribe as a club member on www.abcambatv.com/subscribe.
Well, it is evident the powers have changed hands. La Republic du Cameroon, so-called professionals and well-equipped militaries are unable to influence the trend of affairs in Ambazonia. All attempts to relinquish Monday ghost towns by La Republic du Cameroon officials have failed. Administrative powers over Ambazonia now reside in the hands of the interim government and not with the colonial La Republic du Cameroon government. Today, Monday, September 11, 2023, is another highly respected Monday ghost town. And of course, it was duly observed. Now, let's begin here tonight. How are you doing, Steph?
Very well, Onyi. Good evening, Ambazonians. It is a total lockdown in Ambazonia with businesses, markets, and different institutions locked, as is always the case on every Monday in Ambazonia. Today, September 11th, Monday, 2023, Ghost Town comes just 2 days after the people of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia observe a one-week lockdown. Yet the enthusiasm of the Monday Ghost Town remains the same. The people of Ambazonia are poised to frustrate La Republic's government and their activities in Ambazonia, and its sacrifice to reach the goal is very accepted and put in place. The people of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia are very much comfortable respecting the lockdowns as long as La Republic is frustrated.
All right, and of course, the national lockdown imposed by the interim government led by President Dr. Samuel Ikomen is still on. But then, just to inform you, the date extends to 15th of September. Now, to ensure that this message goes on smoothly, we have General Had Nok on this particular one, who would tell you exactly what you need to know. Now, let's take a listen.
Day of September 2000. Fellow ARF, fellow citizens of Ambazonia, today now Monday, the 11th day of September 2023. And I come up with this very quick and urgent communication from the Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council, ANSC, where it is subordinated to the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. And this communication is concern the ongoing 2 weeks national lockdown. The national lockdown is the end on Friday, September 15th, Friday, September 15th, and not on the 12th of September, not on Tuesday, 12th September, as stated on some flyers. Again, the national lockdown, the lockdown of our national territory, is the end on Friday, September 15th, and not on the 12th of September, as stated on some flyers. That means the lockdown, it will continue right to Friday, 15th September 2023. Saturday and Sunday, they be exempted as usual, and then we go observe our usual Monday ghost town or country Sunday. This one, it means say from Monday, that is today, the 11th, to Friday, 15th September, we go remain indoors. No circulation of motorbikes, motorcycles, tricycles, vehicles, save for ambulances in case of genuine medical emergency. No opening of markets, shops, stores, bars, houses, houses, green care houses, drinking palaces, all business premises, they go still be on hold. And this one, it means say where schools or where community schools, they go only go operational as from Tuesday, September 19, 2023. Again, where schools, where community schools, they go operational only as from Tuesday, 19th day of September 2023. Remember, say we know they follow the same school calendar with La Republic du Cameroon. And remember, they say this 2 weeks lockdown, it take into consideration the safety and security of our school kids, our students, teachers, and everybody, and the strategic interest of our revolution. The Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council, it don't uncover another diabolical plan by the Republic of Cameroon terrorists, military, and rogue regime for commit another massacre of school children this week between Tuesday and Friday, and that it on the Ambazonian Restoration Forces, as was the case in Garbu, Kumba, Ekondo, Titi, Muyuka, Pinyin, Fikov, Kimbo, etc. And the Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council and the Ambazonian people, they get to stay indoors for avoid this macabre replay of history. The Republic of Cameroon, it intend for use this monstrous act as propaganda when you be addressing the United Nations General Assembly on the 21st of September or any time soon. It also wants or intend for use school resumption for their propaganda say things have already gone back to normal in the so-called northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. We get for sabotage all this move as we don't sabotage the candidacy of young Mona Philemon as 79th president of the United Nations General Assembly. When I remember say me for through an article written by a certain Fonvera, it be revealed on July 7th, 2023, say La Republic it worked so hard for Philemon Mona Young, for their former prime minister, who become the 79th president of the United Nations General Assembly, and they don't already deposit documents or they don't already start the campaign before all the diplomatic missions accredited to Yaoundé. And the intention for make Philemon Mona Young the 79th president of the United Nations General Assembly now for sabotage and block the Ambazonian struggle internationally. But thanks to the great and commendable work carried out by the interim government, young Mona Philemon, he candidacy, he don't be disqualified in favor of that of Francis Dennis. Francis Dennis, he come out for that island, that country where they call him, say, Trinidad and Tobago. So Francis Dennis of Trinidad and Tobago, now the 79th President of the United Nations General Assembly. Again, we hail our interim government for successfully sabotaging the candidacy of Philemon Mona Young. We, the Ambazonian people, can never give the least chance to La Republic of Cameroon and their agents to succeed in their machinations and diabolical maneuvers. They will not be given reason to smile cynically at us. They will not be given the least chance to torpedo our struggle for freedom. We will prevail. Spokesperson, Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council. Spokesperson, Ambazonian Resistance Forces for the 13 counties that make up the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Victory is sure.
All right, and I'm sure that everyone has gotten that message. In the home fronts are advised to observe this lockdown as it continues. Ntuan Dong Chamberlain, the Colonial Law Republic of Cameroon SDO for Momo County on Friday, 8 September 2023, shouted at and blamed the population of Mambada in Kumba local government area for not reporting the presence of Ambazonian restoration fighters. He says they are risking the life of their colonial deal. Now, the annexationist Chamberlain was speaking disappointedly at the Colonial Law Republic of Cameroon's DU's residence that was attacked on Thursday, September 7th, in the evening hours when the local colonial administrators drove in. In his words, he says, I can testify you saw them coming. In your own village, master, in your own village, you are unable to bravely report these institutors of havoc. Your village and your ancestors are protecting you, and you are there to give you the strength to fight. You cannot be here in Mbabanda and those boys come with gun to kill your deal, and you don't report to authorities and forces of law and order to intervene. It means that there is a problem somewhere. It is very painful. I don't want to ever come back here and hear those boys came to Mbabanda village. La Republic of Cameroon agent Ntuan Dong Chamberlain emphasized, fuming at some locals he addressed.
Now, the Colonial Law Republic D.O. Ngali Alfred Mande, who was attacked, was rescued by the Occupier La Republic military, who intervened immediately after being alerted. According to the Yaoundé Colonial Meme SDO, the assailants quickly retreated. Ntu Ndong Chamberlain confidently said the military will continue hunting them. They were not many. They should be aware that very soon they will be severely touched, he said.
Well, before the arrival of the occupier, La Republic of Cameroon, the ARFs were prevented from entering the residence of the colonial DO by another colonial La Republic of Cameroon soldier on duty. In a sustained gunfire exchange, Mr. Chamberlain gave his colonial soldier a congratulatory handshake. It is reported the attackers took cover in the bush around the residence, waiting for their targets. Between 7:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. when he was driving in, the ARS fired shots which perforated the gate. The rescued colonial DU was taken to La Republic of Cameroon's camp in Mbabanda, where he took refuge.
Well, the reason why this conversation went on, it's because the Ambazonian Restoration Forces have been on the offensive recently, and from every indication, they're not even ready to be blind in the new paradigm. At the start of the present war in Ambazonia, the Ambazonian Restoration Forces were simply on the defensive.
Well, the Ambazonian Restoration Forces on September 7, 2023, challenged the bodyguards of the Colonial Divisional Officer of Kumba local government area in an attempt to seize the colonial agents of La Republic of Cameroon. The colonial DO Alfred Mendengali had to abandon his residence for the Colonial Law Republic to Cameroon's camp to spend the night. It was a tough night for him.
Well, Ambazonian Restoration Forces on Thursday, September 7th, gave the Colonial the DO for Kumba 3 local government area, Alfred Mendengali, a sleepless night. The Ambazonian Restoration Forces launched a fierce gun attack on the guards of the Colonial Kumba 3 local government area. The divisional officer, that was about 7:30 p.m. local time, Ambazonian time, in an attempt to penetrate the residence of their target. The time of the attack was well calculated as the Colonial DO was inside his house at the time of the attack. The 3 Ambazonian Restoration Forces who came on board a motorcycle only retreated after a reinforcing La Republic military.
Well, the Ambazonian Restoration Forces reports that they came on board a motorcycle, only retreated after reinforcing La Republic to Cameroon military intervened. This report has it that the house was too hot for the Colonial DO, Alfred Mendengali, who had to abandon his house that evening and was escorted by the elements of the beast to their camp where he spent the night. Also, the attack left no casualty.
The Colonial La Republic government surrogates in Ambazonia are manifesting fear with these attacks of the Ambazonian Restoration Forces. It started with the Colonial Senior Divisional Officer for Momo County putting a restriction on commercial motorbikes. The next day, as if it was a nationwide disease, the Colonial
the high doing the right things. Well, the Colonial Divisional Officer for the local government area, Adamu Shaibu Ibrahim, has issued an order restricting the movement of vehicles and motorbikes into and out of the local government area from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. The colonial authorities never gave any justification for this injunction. It is believed the decision is to limit the number of attacks orchestrated by Ambazonian fighters in the local government during night hours. Oh well, the Colonial DO Fund further said the restriction applies only to private vehicles and motorbikes. Colonial administrative and security vehicles and motorbikes are not involved. The order, dated September 9, 2023, came hours after that of the Colonial Faculty Senior Divisional Officer of the Atlantic Zone of Ambazonia restriction movement of motorbikes during the same specific period.
Well, reacting to the attack around the Soccer City spot in Victoria, Momo County, bikes have been banned from circulating in the night by the Colonial SDO. At least one person died and 9 others were injured in an explosion suspected to have been perpetrated by Ambazonian fighters in Victoria and City. That's on Friday, September 8, 2023. Witnesses said 2 men on board a motorbike dropped a bag that later exploded, killing a bike rider.
The Colonial Senior Divisional Officer, Chaibu, arrived at the measures after a security meeting held in Victoria. Motorbikes riders were ordered to restrict circulation around major and populated centers in Victoria today with the colonial name Limbe. They restricted the circulation of motorbikes between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. The explosion in Victoria followed an attack in Boya a day before where 3 men were killed and 2 cars burned to ashes as members of an Ambazonian group. Now, Fako mountain lions stormed the vicinity to enforce a 2-week lockdown against school resumption in the same zone.
Speaking of Ambazonians, restoration forces being on the offensive, several weapons have been harvested. Videos emerged last weekend showing the Ambazonian restoration forces taking over a colonial La Republic occupied gendarmerie border control post in Luz Mwa local government area after 3 days of non-stop shooting. This incident happened under the command of Major General. The videos equally show heavily armed Ambazonian restoration fighters burning an armored car and a compound where border control forces from Colonial La Republic were lodged. And this incident records that it was carried under the General Capo.
Well, the Ambazonian restoration fighters accused the mixed Colonial La Republic Decorum Police Gendarmerie team at the border of extorting money from southern of Ambazonians traveling to other countries or neighboring countries. The ARFs later showed weapons and military kits seized from the gendarmes. Luz village is located between Kum, Mfumti, in Onwa local government area, Donga Mountain County, and neighboring country like Nigeria.
All right, moving on to a report that a very report concerns Ambazonia, but this one is going to even have our news director, if he's available to react to. It's the United Nations attorney who was abducted in Bamenda just yesterday on Sunday. Now, according to reports from Kemite Ashu, United Nations attorney and prosecutor of war crimes Peter Tafa Esquire was abducted on Sunday in the Intarikon neighborhood of Bamenda during the evening rush. Lawyer Tafa is a household name in legal practice in Bamenda, and since 1994, he has carved a niche for himself as an international prosecutor of war crimes in the Arusha, Tanzania ICC tribunal set up to try perpetrators of the Rwanda genocide.
Well, the kidnapping of Barrister Tafa is seen by political pundits as another attempt by enablers and La Republic to taint the image of Ambazonian struggle for statehood restoration. While no group has taken responsibility for his abduction, the ADF and the Bees working in partnership are highly suspected. Reliable source in Yaoundé says the La Republic government is under pressure to produce the abducted UN prosecutor.
Well, the abduction of Barrister Tafa is a very bad omen for the gang of kidnappers, because the United Nations and the ICC for which he works are deeply concerned. The abduction is one too many. It is like swallowing a spiked arrow, so it's very, very much a bad omen. As we got to press, the sources added that Ayabacho Lucas is under pressure from his partners in Yaoundé to release Barrister Tafa.
Well, videos of who abducted him is not yet clear, but his abduction is a proof of many things. Let's start with the first. The fact that the ongoing war is still hitting hard on the people. For several months, Colonial La Republic de Cameroon has been trying to communicate to the international community that normalcy has returned. But of course, from the news this evening, you can see that that's far from the truth. But the more they do so, the more the war is raging. What are the evidences here? There are still random and targeted killings in Ambazonians and for Ambazonians. Examples, these are numerous, including one of the most recent reports of a young student killed in her house by stray bullets, amongst them other targeted shots on innocent Ambazonians who are later accused to be ARFs. So many other killings caused by the war declared on Ambazonians. Another evidence in this report is from Undu and Kumba that we have brought to you tonight. The fact that there is no normalcy shouldn't even be something to prove. A look at the entire Ambazonia is enough proof. The lockdown that is currently being enforced across the country is another proof. Children being unable to go to school just because they are not safe says it all.
Well, the proof is enough. Only one look at Ambazonia tells it all. From reports we got, Barrister Peter Tafa is in Alabukam, a quarter in Alamancon of Mason County, and there are chances that he might be moved to another location or be released. Now let's take a look at the intricacies of this kidnap. There are very high chances that Colonial La Republic de Cameroon would have plotted for his arrest, probably directly via their beers or indirectly via their proxies. This now is the question. Their intent be to sabotage the Ambazonian restoration forces and the struggle. Like Emiasha said while sharing this report, let's wait and see. That's all we can do while we watch this new futile attempt fail again.
All right, and before we get to the African report this evening, when we have serious issues on our table, we always want our news director to share his quota, because of course he has something relevant always to share when it comes to the news. Let's start with the Momo County. They drafted on Saturday. Good thing they had over 15,000 US dollars. Mr. Paddy, I know you have some attachment to Momo. I know you have some personal, very personal attachment to Momo County. There are other questions we have for you tonight, but let's start with that. Over 15,000 US dollars drafted. 50,000 US dollars drafted. How excited are you, or how disappointed are you? What were you expecting? And, let's hear from you.
Well, it is no news. That was expected. Ambazonians knew that Momo County would do big. And like you have rightfully said, I have a very specific, special attachment with Momo. Primarily because my mom is from Momo, Menemu to be precise. She hails from Jindom village as the first daughter of our family. And my wife is from Batibo. That is the powerhouse, financial powerhouse of the entire Momo County. Momo County is a great county, something very remarkable. I would like to first of all say congratulations, Momo, congratulations. So any Momo person that is listening to me will say Mo Bene. That's what the Bameta people will say, Mo Bene. I wish I could speak Momo fluently. I wish I took the lessons from my grandmother Avu Awara. Very seriously, I would have said congratulations. But there's an audio I have here. I would like to play it. I think it's coming from Ma Irene, and she was trying to. I really apologize we didn't give you ladies on time, because it's important. So far, the reason why we're playing this is because Momo County is the county that has done better than every other county. They are good. They have always done this. So this, I pray you're able to hear this.
The similar greeting for good morning is Afonyo.
Are you guys listening? Afonyo, singular.
Singular greeting for good evening or afternoon is
no. Okay, this is coming from Mawini.
The plural greeting for good morning is Mbafono.
Mbafono.
The plural greeting for good afternoon or good evening is Mbafazi.
Mbafazi.
Singular, Afono. Afozi. Plural.
Mbafono.
Mbafono.
Mbafazi.
Mbafazi.
Okay. At least this one is easy. I could do it, but I'm sure this was meant for you, the anchor ladies. I want to apologize that as an oversight, you can hear that's the voice of the House Speaker. That's actually minimal. And there's a close similarity with that and what the Moramos will do. Now, the 50,000 was welcomed by Ambazonians. It has inspired Ambazonians. But something that was very remarkable about what happened that we're going to get into the analysis of it. We'll do that tomorrow. One thing that was very, very remarkable was the encouraging words that came from the president, or first of all, from the vice president and the president. And if you looked at if you follow the pre-draft show into the draft proper, you will see that in spite of everything, there is this willingness of the Moamoans to be together. The Momoans. I provoked them on set by trying to see, because there are rumors that there's a friction within the county, you know. Prior to that time, the president has said a Momo County like that, because of who they are, they're going to have attacks like more than any other county. So I provoked them, and I wanted them to talk about it. And there was a clear denial from all the officials of all the counties. The denial was a proof that the people in Momo want to live together in unity, and whoever is trying to instigate division among them would have failed. The vice president was soliciting for the people of Momo to take the draft of Saturday as a way of coming together to fight for each other. If Moramo and Menemo and Jikwa and every other constituent within, from the village of Guneko right on to Njindom, even to Tat, if they will consider, and all the 20-something villages in Batsibo, they will consider the need of working together. We will not have proxy forces from French Cameroon infiltrating and crumbling down a great county. So it's important. I hope tomorrow we can have an official from the Momo County that will come to talk about it. But the great thing is the money that Momo, and this is cash, and as I speak to you, many more is still coming in. This was donated one night and cash. This has inspired Ambazonians, and everybody's excited. Looking at the results that are happening at the home front. There's something about Momo that I like you all to also know, is the fact that in every county in Ambazonia, one of the most prominent fighters, in fact, if not 50%, at least 25% of all the fighters in all the different counties of Ambazonia is made up of Momoans. That means they are either sons from Batibo or from Bengui. So Momo is playing a very pivotal role in the freedom movement of Ambazonia, and that's quite remarkable. So I want to say, much Arwe, congratulations. Congratulations to all the Momoans for a good work. We hope that you'll be open enough and you'll grant the platform for Ambazonians, the federal government, to work with you and to ensure that firepower returns, and that the ADF particularly is kicked out of Momo, and La République du Cameroon forces are also kicked out. Thank you, ladies, for hyping me on that.
All right.
Well, something of concern would be definitely the 1st October. We can't talk about it enough because with every passing day, it's further approaching. And it's something that you might want to throw some more updates of recent occurrences and preparations towards the 1st of October independence celebrations.
Yeah, first of all, there's a lot for us to talk about that. As you know, we have Princess Ubi, is an Ambazonian musician who is currently connected. She's in our studios, Princess Ubi. We also have Willie de Paris, who is trying to connect. I hope before we're done with the conversation, he would have been connected to tell us what now. Princess Ubi is one of the Ambazonian singers and musicians who will be in Germany for the gala night. She's with me in the studio. Princess Ubi, please, I would like you to take your chair because I'll be getting in touch with you very briefly and shortly. And Willie de Paris. There are going to be other artists, not just the two of them, but like I told you sometime last week, that was on Thursday, I remember informing you that we are not going to unveil all the artists now for some very specific or special reasons. Why I try to connect these artists to come up, I will want us to have this musical break. You're seeing on the screen, these are the two confirmed that will be in Berlin just for October 1st commemorations. So I will be taking this very short break with Willie de Paris, exceptional music you already know one day. And when I come back, I will talk to Princess Ubi, who is connected in our studios, very briefly. So she will tell us her inspiration, something about her music, and why she is looking forward to these celebrations.
When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes a duty. Weber. One day, God go hear our prayer, daddy. One day, God go hear our prayer. I say one day, God go hear our prayer, daddy. One day, God go hear our prayer. Una dey for bush, una no get your daddy. Una just pray, God go hear our prayer. Begin the need to go school. The day is a bush, daddy. Make we just pray, God go hear our prayer. Sing with me.
One day, God go hear our prayer, daddy. One day, God go hear our prayer.
I say one day,
God go hear our prayer, daddy. One day, God go hear our prayer.
See how a woman dead bona is a bush, daddy. Oh, begin the day, big go school again, mama. Who will it cry? I go cry again, oh, daddy. One day, God go hear our prayer, daddy. One day, God go hear our prayer. I say one day,
God go hear our prayer, daddy. One day, God go hear our prayer.
I take so painful for see one brother they kill another brother. Papa God, now you want to know this story. Now you want to know this story. My papa, what did happen for this place now? Hey, begin the day for bush, they no get water, oh, that you, then this go. God go hear our prayer. We not get the house them. They don't burn our house them. That you make we just pray, oh. God go hear our prayer. Sing with me.
One day, God go hear our prayer, daddy. One day, God go hear our prayer.
I say one day,
God go hear our prayer, daddy. One day, God go hear our prayer.
See how they don't burn our house, they burn some rest, oh, mommy. Oh, see how we begin the day they go school.
And that again was the exceptional rhymes and rhythms from Willie de Paris. I don't know what's happening. He's facing some difficulties to connect. I pray he connects before we conclude the discussion of tonight. But with me on this panel discussion is Princess Ubi from Momo County. Fortunately, we just drafted Momo big time. I understand you are somewhere in Europe and you will be traveling all the way into Berlin for October 1st. Can you hear me, please? I want to be sure that you can hear me.
I
We have a
can
brief
hear
conversation.
properly. Yeah, I can hear
Okay,
properly.
okay. But I can hear you. Maybe you want to talk to Ambazonians, who you are, what you're doing. You're a musician, and this will be the first time we are showcasing you publicly. What do you sing? Why do you sing? We want to hear that from you. Please talk to us.
Yeah, I just want to introduce myself to the Ambazonian people, Ambazonian family in the whole world. I just want to talk briefly about our independence. Southern Cameroon's independence was voted by the UN General Assembly in 1961. 64 votes for independence against 23, and 10 abstentions. We restored our independence on the 1st of October 2017. So that is very important for people to know how we got our independence and how we restored our independence.
That's amazing.
Thank
Princess Ubi, I'm happy you're saying that you want to introduce yourself to the Ambazonian community. It is clear that a lot of people within the Ambazonian community do not really know about you. But today, knowing you, they're knowing you as a musician who is passionate for her country and she wants to sing on behalf. What do you sing? You're going to give us an a cappella before you leave. I think tomorrow we'll play some of your track on air, but I would like you to do better than a cappella today. What do you sing and what are you singing about? And have you done any music for this song? If so, what is it?
I've just I just sang 4 songs, and the one I will sing first is the in Gabu. Our children were killed in Gabu.
Yeah.
That is our independence song. It will come on the 1st.
There's a
Sorry.
noise on your background. Do you want to stop the noise at your background, please? Do you want to stop it? Do you want to stop the sound at your background, please?
What did our children do? They were killed because they were Ambazonians. So what did our children do? They were killed because they were Ambazonians. To prison, then we know that we won't see our children all being killed in a classroom learning without arms or weapons.
Princess Ubi, can you hear me? Yes, Princess Ubi, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, I'll just like you to, there'll be a time for you to sing. There'll be a time for you to sing what you want to sing. Can you just tell us a little bit about the passion and the drive of your music? I'm bringing you back on the screen so that you can talk to us about the passion that is behind the music you do. There'll be a time for you to sing, please.
My drive for music, when I was a child, I saw things happening in La République. When I was a child, I saw things happening. La République will send French teachers to come and teach us in English in school. You know, with the French accent, we will not understand anything, and the French teacher will fail some of us. In court also, case files are given to French judges who could not speak English. Then the judges will sentence you without understanding the case. When our lawyers and teachers came out for a peaceful protest and they were rubbed in mud, beaten, calling us dogs, cockroaches. So my song, the song I sang is to sensitize the Ambazonians and the whole world to rally behind our President, Dr. Samuel Ikomisako, Dr. Common Sense, and the IG. We don't suffer. We don't suffer plenty. We don't suffer.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Princess Ubi. Now, tomorrow we are going to play your song in a way that Ambazonians can listen to it and enjoy it more. But now I want you to do an a cappella for us, just a brief a cappella. But before you even do that a cappella, one thing that is good about it is I want Ambazonians to understand that you are driven by your desire to see the homeland free. And in spite of the critical situation you find yourself in Europe, and what you are doing for yourself now, you think it is time for us to tell our stories through music. So Princess Ubi is from the great county of Momo, and she's going to be one of the superstars that will be performing during the gala night. It's not a night you want to miss for anything in this whole wide world. It's a time to be alive. It's a time for Ambazonia. So Princess Ubi, please, knock we small, if possible, even in Momo, there's no problem. Just do us an a cappella very briefly so we can call it a night. Thank you.
Okay. Momo Bambriye. Besaye. Marvin Akimo. I'll just warm up the place with Tinamia Kabungia. That in anything we give thanks to God. Tina the bene we ko. 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 Mbawa yene. Ayene. 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 Tina the bene we ko. Mbawa. In everything we give thanks to God.
Thank you very much, Princess Ubi. A lot of Ambazonians are still looking up to having Willie the Party here. As I can look through our system, it would appear Willie the Party, I can see you've attempted to connect, but I can't find you on the screen. If you can hear me, come on the screen. That notwithstanding, thank you very much for coming, Princess Abby. Tomorrow we're gonna have you again with Willie the Party very briefly. And I think at that time we would have had your music in a much more soluble form. For those of you who are looking on the screen, the program is very simple, good and intense and wonderful. Tomorrow, on the 29th of September, will be arrival of delegates from all across Europe. You have Willie the Party coming in from Belgium. You have Princess Ubi coming in from Belgium. You'll be having Lady Casey coming in from the UK. Those are people who have confirmed that they're going to be in Berlin. There are many others coming from different parts. A big team is coming in from Austria, from the UK, from Ireland, from different parts of Finland, Sweden, Denmark. They will all be rekindling in Berlin. And on the 30th is what the president calls the UN Southern Cameroons Memorial Day. And the location will be publicized on a different flyer. But on this day, Ambazonians are called upon to have the flag, the UN flag. There will be banners that will carry important information like the independence of Ambazonia is a must, the UNHCR Resolution 1608 Section 5 should be respected, and all the massacres, the Gabu massacres, the Pinyin massacre, the Kumba massacre, the recent massacres that are happening will be showcased, and Ambazonians will be out there in their colors and regalias. And by 8 p.m. Amba time on that day, the president will be addressing the entire nation from Washington, D.C. At exactly 8 p.m., we'll have the president talking to the peoples of Ambazonia at home and abroad. And the next day will be a march. This march will be taking place all across the world, in Australia, in Europe, in America, in Canada, in the Caribbean, in Africa, at the refugee camps. We are also going to be having the Ambazonian Restoration Forces performing big time. Thank you very much, Princess Ubi, for being a part of this rendezvous of today. Do you have any last words to tell Ambazonians before we say goodbye to you, please?
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yes, please, very briefly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Firstly, I want our country, Ambazonian, to come out from slavery. I want our country to change. I don't want to be slave again. We'll have our resources, our land, all our petrol to ourselves. We'll tap our minerals and we will have our freedom to use the money to construct our country and to send our children to school. then we'll never suffer again. If today I am asked to choose, I will choose Ambazonia under the leadership of Dr. Samuel Ikomisako and his IG. We have not done anything wrong to La Republique. They came to our country, burned our houses, roast our children, fried our children, shot all our children, burned grandmothers in houses. So for this reason, Ayafo, Prince of Ekuge, raped our children, raped our mothers. So for all these reasons, we are free from slavery from today. Slavery must stop. We don't suffer. Last fight, na fight, Ambazonian. We don't suffer. We don't suffer. Water na water.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Princess Abby, for those encouraging
Thank you
words.
very much, Paddy.
Yes, I hope tomorrow we will have
the pleasure is mine.
Yeah, I hope tomorrow we'll have the opportunity to play some of your songs again. And I'll try to see if I can work with Willie the Party much earlier to get him. Ambazonians were hungry to listen to him. Thank you. I will be transitioning back into the
Thank you very
newsroom.
much.
Yes, hello, ladies. You're welcome. Thank you for having us in this brief interlude there, Onye and Star. You gave a very important report there about the Ambazonian diplomat that has been allegedly kidnapped by the La République du Cameroon proxy militia. And there are lots of questions and intricacies, and I like the commentaries you and Star brought in there. Whatever I see from that is just the fact that the war is still raging and Ambazonians are bearing the brunt, those at the home front. And there's a technicality there. The world is currently looking at us. And what La République du Cameroon wants right now is to gain some legitimacy in the genocide. So there are high chances that Cameroon orchestrated the kidnap so that they will present a sabotage rhetoric, and by some means they will use that to blackmail our Ambazonian restoration forces. They are aware of the legal side or the legal argument, and they are trying to give to themselves some justification in whatever they are doing. I will still be here to maybe make a brief comment on some things. There's something coming up. So if you will bear with me after the presentation of your African report and war report, I will be pleading to have 3 minutes to give you an information. I'm trying to confirm that from the office of the president. So, but at this point, I'll hand over the mic to you to continue with the reports of what is trending across Africa and the world. The mic is yours, please.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Tar.
African scene. North Africa, 6.8 magnitude earthquake hit Morocco on 8 September at 11:11 p.m. local time. A 6.8 magnitude earthquake hit central Morocco. Its epicenter was in the High Atlas Mountains, southwest of Marrakesh city. At least 2,012 people have been killed and 2,059 injured in this 6.8 magnitude earthquake that hit the North African country of Morocco on Friday. King Mohammed VI of Morocco has mobilized the army's search and rescue teams to find and rescue survivors using helicopters and drones.
All right, East Africa. The DRC makes slow steps in integrating with EAC states. The Democratic Republic of Congo this week opened its doors to Kenyans as it signaled further interest to integrate under the East African community. A circular publicized on Wednesday by the Directorate of Migration in the DRC said Kenyans will no longer be required to get visas before traveling to DRC. Effective from the 1st of September, the same day Kenya lifted visa requirements on Congolese. The new policy is aimed at facilitating movement of people within the region and could offer an opportunity to increase trade with neighbors.
Meanwhile, East African leaders extend regional troop mandate in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Regional bloc says soldiers to stay until December 8 as local opposition grows to peacekeepers and tensions between DRC and Rwanda SEMA. African Zulu leader Mangosuthu Buthelezi dies at 97. Alongside the late Nelson Mandela, Mangosuthu Buthelezi was a pivotal actor in South Africa's transition from a white apartheid state to multiracial democracy in the 1990s. But his legacy is also quite controversial.
In West Africa over the weekend, Niger accused France of amassing military forces in several West African countries as relations between Niamey and Paris plunged further into the abyss. Junta spokesman Colonel Major Amadou Abdurrahman accused Paris of preparing an attack against Niger in collaboration with the Economic Community of West African States.
Now, last month, the bloc had said it would use all measures, including military force, to reverse the 26 July push, which overthrew President Mohamed Bazoum. And of course, for our main report, we'll talk about this serial coup d'etats in Africa. First fact we'll state here is it's been rather more of rejoicing in African nations than fear and sadness following all the recent coup d'etats in Africa.
Now let's look at bringing updates to the coup in Gabon. Gabon's military leader, General Brice Oligui, has unveiled his transitional government consisting of representatives from diverse political backgrounds. Gabon's transitional Prime Minister Raymond Ndongsima unveiled the composition of a diverse government on Saturday. This government comprises former adversaries from ministers from the deposed President Ali Bongo's administration, military officials, and civil society representatives. However, notable figures from the formal opposition in the presidential election are not.
Well, Mr. Oligui was inaugurated as the president of the transitional period on Monday without specifying its duration, with a commitment to eventually restore power to civilians through elections. As military coups recently gained currency in some parts of the African continent, research experts have attributed the resurgence of military rule to rooted in corruption, fraudulent electoral process, bad governance, undue elongation of tenure, as well as the role of external forces.
Policy experts have advised African leaders to review their attachment to external powers that exploit African nations in the guise of democratization. The advice was given on the weekend by policy experts next year, which further recommended the electoral umpires in Africa need reforms that guarantees transparency of elections and independence from external control. Now let's get you news across the globe. Sports. French President Emmanuel Macron says Russian flag has no place at Paris Olympics Games. Russia as a country has no place at the 2024 Paris Olympics and no Russian flag should be used at the game. This is what President Emmanuel Macron said.
And the war raging in the world right now, Ukraine's air defense forces destroyed more than 20 aerial targets during a nighttime attack on Kyiv. Serhiy Popko, the head of the city administration, said that enemy drones attacked the capital in groups and from various directions. According to preliminary information, the enemy used Shahed UAVs.
World politics, President Joe Biden has denied that the U.S. is attempting to stem China's international influence after signing a new historic deal with Vietnam. More than 50 years since the last American soldier left Vietnam, Mr. Biden traveled to Hanoi to sign the agreement that will bring the former foes closer than ever before.
And for the main report on the international scene, will a new BRICS reserve currency influence the U.S. economy? Well, in the wake of 2023, discussions regarding the potential establishment of a new BRICS reserve currency have garnered significant attention. Understanding the implication of such a development for the U.S. economy becomes paramount, given the considerable influence BRICS nations Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa hold in the global financial landscape. The launch of their unified currency would undeniably shift dynamics. This move could strengthen economic integrations within BRICS nations, reduce the influence of the U.S. on a global scale, and potentially weaken the U.S. dollar status as a predominant global reserve currency.
Now, here are 10 reasons why. First is strengthening economic integration within BRICS. A unified BRICS currency would undeniably boost economic collaboration amongst its member nations. The enhanced ease of trade and cross-border transaction could spur economic growth, fostering stronger ties and partnership within the BRICS community. Two, reducing the influence of the U.S. on the global stage. The power that the US dollar wields its international affairs is actually profound. The launch of a BRICS currency might dilute this dominance, challenging the ability of the US to utilize its economic strength as a tool for geopolitical influence.
Now, weakening the standing of the US dollar as a global reserve currency. I wonder, should BRICS nation opt to hold significant portions of their foreign reserves in their new currency? Demand for the US dollar could recede. Well, this shift could lead to a depreciation of the dollar's value, altering global trade dynamics. Implications for a more multipolar world economy. The world could be witnessing a transformation towards a more multipolar economic structure. A BRICS currency would diversify reserve currency options, paving the way for a more balanced and equitable global financial system.
Challenges and opportunities for the United States is another reason. While a BRICS reserve currency might present challenges for the US in terms of diminished global influence, it could also unveil new trade and investment avenues with BRICS nations fostering mutual growth. What about impact on the US dollar value? The collective decision of BRICS nations on managing their vast foreign exchange reserves could have implications for the US dollar value. It remains to be seen how these dynamics play out, with potential scenarios ranging from negligible impact to significant dollar appreciation.
Now, sanction and changes with a prospective expansion of BRICS to include more nations. Its economic and political clout is poised to amplify further. Such an expansion might further challenge the US's economic dominance. The BRICS currency margins could restructure global financial systems, from reshaping trade agreements to influencing operations of global financial institutions. The ramification could be limited.
Now, expert opinions and predictions. The economic and financial sector harbored varied opinions on the BRICS currency. US economy is a space watched closely, with experts analyzing every nuance of the evolving situation. Potential implications for dollar-dominated debts. Countries bearing substantial dollar-dominated debt might see it as an avenue to ease their burdens through a BRICS currency. However, potential fluctuations in the new currency value could also introduce risks.
Now, to remind you, the reason why there is a push for BRICS currency is because the members believe that a unified BRICS currency could strengthen economic ties within member nations, offer a counterbalance to the US dollar's global influence, and lead to a more multipolar world economy.
All right, and in sports, let's meet Gab Ellison in the studio.
Latest world sports, football. Luis Rubiales resigns as president of Spanish Football Association over Jenny Hermoso case. Luis Rubiales has resigned as president of the Spanish Football Federation following criticism for kissing Spain forward Jenny Hermoso at the Women's World Cup final presentation ceremony. Hermoso, 33, said the case after Spain beat England was not consensual and she filed a legal complaint last Tuesday. Rubiales said he had submitted his resignation to Federation Acting President Pedro Rocha in a statement. "I cannot continue my work," he told Piers Morgan on his television show. The 46-year-old has also resigned from his position as vice president of UEFA's executive committee. The fallout from the case has engulfed Spanish football in recent weeks and overshadowed Spain's World Cup win, with Rubiales ignoring repeated calls to resign. On Friday, a prosecutor filed a complaint with Spain's High Court following Hermoso's testimony on Tuesday against Rubiales for sexual assault and coercion. Rubiales claimed the case was mutual and consensual, but had been provisionally suspended by football's world governing body, FIFA. After the quick suspension carried out by FIFA, plus the rest of open proceedings against me, it is evident that I will not be able to return to my position. Rubiales' statement read, "Insisting on waiting and holding on is not going to contribute to anything positive, neither to the Federation nor to Spanish football." Rubiales said he hoped his departure would boost Spain's joint bid with Morocco and Portugal to host the 2030 World Cup. He added, "I have faith in the truth and I will do everything in my power to prevail. My daughters, my family, and the people who love me have suffered the effects of excessive persecution as well as many falsehoods. But it is also true that on the street, more and more every day, the truth is prevailing." Some 81 Spain players, including all 23 World Cup winners, said they will not play for the national team again, while Rubiales was in his position. World Cup winning manager Jörg Wilder, considered a close ally of Rubiales, was sacked on 5th September amid a scandal, with Moise Tomé named as his successor. Politicians, footballers, and celebrities have spoken out against Rubiales, while protesters gathered at the Federation's headquarters last month to demand his resignation. Spain's acting Labour Minister Yolanda Díaz posted on X, formerly Twitter, "The feminist country is advancing faster and faster. The transformation and improvement of our lives is inevitable. We are with you, Jenny, and with all women." Irene Montero, Spain's equality minister, added, "It's over." Asked by Morgan whether something in particular finally led him to resign, Rubiales said he spoke to his family and listened to the advice of friends. "My father, my daughters, I spoke with them. They know it's not a question about me. And some friends very close to me said to me, 'Luis, you need to focus on your dignity and to continue your life, because if not, you are going to damage people you love and the sport you love.'" This was not only me. An attitude towards me can affect third parties that are very important. It was the intelligent thing that I had to do. Tennis. US Open 2023 results. Novak Djokovic wins 24th major by beating Daniil Medvedev. Novak Djokovic won a record equaling 24th Grand Slam singles title by outlasting Daniil Medvedev in the punishing US Open final in New York. The 36-year-old Serb won 6-3, 7-6, 7-5, 6-3, but a straight-set scoreline does not tell how deep he had to dig. A comfortable opening set was followed by a brutal second which lasted 1 hour and 44 minutes. After the pair exchanged breaks early in the third, Djokovic took control to level Margaret Court's 50-year record. "It obviously means the world to me," said Djokovic on winning his 24th major. "I'm really living my childhood dream to compete at the highest level in the sport. which has given me and my family so much from difficult circumstances. I never thought I would be here, but the last couple of years, I thought I had a shot at history. Why not grab it when it is presented? Second seed Djokovic looked physically troubled in that grueling second set, but showed all the hallmarks of his greatness to win the fourth US Open title. Djokovic, who surpassed Rafael Nadal's record tally of 22 men's major titles earlier this year, had matched Australia's court at a second attempt after losing the Wimbledon final in July. He has won 3 of the 4 Grand Slam titles in 2023, becoming the first man to achieve this feat on 4 occasions. Now the incoming world number 1 has the chance to surpass court at January's Australian Open, where he has already won a record 10 titles. It felt fitting that Djokovic set up championship point by winning another lengthy rally, and after being made to wait to serve by Shaw, sealed victory when Medvedev hit a forehand into the net. I would immediately sign right away the paper if somebody would tell me I would win 3 out of 4 and play Wimbledon finals this year. Djokovic said, "There is a little regret that I didn't win that Wimbledon final, but at the end of the day, I have so much more to be happier and content with than actually to regret something." Gab Ellison reporting from Undaunted, ABC Amba News.
I actually told you guys to have brought me earlier on, and I told you to have brought me earlier on. Or do you want me to comment about the? You want me to comment about the keys? I wanted to make a comment, but on the African report, and also to give an important information about the draft for this week. I think we are done for tonight's report. Well, there's a lot of intricacies with the keys. The kisser is saying that the receiver, it was a mutual. So what perhaps the media is saying is questionable. That's not our concern for tonight. Ambazonia is at war, and whoever is kissing in Spain is their business. There is an important information here that I'd like to relay, is the fact that this weekend we are having the federal capital draft, and the office of the president is calling on every Ambazonian LGA county chair to rally for the federal capital. There's also a purported phone call that is going, I think Undaunted is done with their news for now. Undaunted would have to probably get their recap for us, but there's an audio between Capo Daniel and Tapang Ivor that is just so concerning. It's so laughable, and a lot of people cognizant of my relationship with Tapang Ivor have been trying to see what I will say in line with whatever is happening. I just would like you to know that I may surprise you from my opinion on the whole issue. I initially did not want to comment on it because of how sensitive it is and the fact that he has hurt a lot of people. I'm talking about the Eric Tato indictment. We hear he's already in prison. The matter, we're following it closely. But there's a lot of things that Tapang Ivor has insinuated. That is a call for concern. And I'll react not today, probably tomorrow or latest Wednesday. I'll get all the facts together, what who said where, and to debunk some of the misinformation that these individuals are circulating. The good news, I want all of every Ambazonian to see the good news in whatever is happening now is the fact that we are now seeing them have taken their sides. These individuals are rightly telling Ambazonians that we are not in for your independence no more. We are not interested in Ambazonia's freedom. Tapang said it. Capo Daniel said it. They said they're not interested in them. And no matter how well they think they're justifying, they're just helping us to vindicate ourselves for anticipating or saying before that they were sellouts. Tapang says in the same 25-minute, or is it 10-minute call, or 25 minutes call with Capo Daniel, he's trying to question Eric Tato for insulting, but it was not, they had not ended when he was already insulting people's mothers. Now he says that Eric Tato is the one that insults women, but he insulted una mami pima. For people, I don't want to say this in grammar because it's for those who grew up, who grew up in Southern Cameroon, so you know what it means when a mami pima. That is a taboo in Ambazonia. A child that is not badly brought up, that has been properly raised, cannot make such a statement. So we will get to that, or that phone call. I will specifically make sure that minute by minute I go through it and debunk it tomorrow or by Wednesday, so that our people will not be conveyed towards the wrong direction because of these naysayers. Thank you very much for being a part of Undaunted tonight. We had a great time. Unfortunately, we were unable to get Willie de Paris, but hopefully we will have him tomorrow. And every day of this week and of this month, our discussion will be centered around 1st October festivities that are coming up globally, and why it is imperative, superlatively imperative, for every Ambazonian to be a part of it. Stay tuned and good night. It was Undaunted, not me. I was just a commentator of this program.
See that you can if I know that can. Stylish, cool, A-list. See that you can if I know that can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if I know that can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if I know that can. If only you knew how great you are. Every time you try so hard to be maybe a great pillar of your country, or to be a change maker of the world, then I don't think you'll ever run away. Even when your world has broken down, you should always turn and face your fears. For what doesn't kill you makes you strong. Just keep interested in whatever you do. Listen to your heart and believe like a fool. For however humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortune of time. Oh my brother, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh my sister, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, See that you can if another can.
Stylish, cool, A-list.
See that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. If only you knew how great you are. Every time you try so hard to be maybe a great pillar of your country, or to be a change maker of the world, then I don't think you'll ever run away. Even when your world has broken down, you should always turn and face your fears, for what doesn't kill you makes you strong. Just keep interested in whatever you do. Listen to your heart and believe like a fool, for however humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortune of time. Oh my brother, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh my sister, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can.
Stylish, cool.
See that you can if another can.
Stylish, cool, A-list.
See that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. If only you knew how great you are. Every time you try so hard to be maybe a great pillar of your country, or to be a change maker of the world, then I don't think you'll ever run away. Even when your world has broken down, you should always turn and face your fears, for what doesn't kill you makes you strong. Just keep interested in whatever you do. Listen to your heart and believe like a fool, for however humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortune of time. Oh my brother, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh my sister, one day you would understand what used to be misunderstood, and you would see that you can if another can. Oh, one day, and you will see that you can if another can. Oh.